The music is loud, people are laughing, someone just handed you a drink, and you're smiling, nodding, saying the right things at the right time, but somewhere around the third conversation, the sound started to compress, like you've been pushed underwater. Voices still reach you, faces still move, but you are not fully there anymore. You are watching yourself from somewhere slightly above. Someone taps your shoulder. Hey, are you okay? And the honest answer, the one that actually formed before you could stop it, wasn't yes. It wasn't no. It was, I actually don't know. That's not a mood. That's not a bad night. That is a nervous system that has been running at full capacity for so long, it started cutting power to the parts it couldn't afford to keep on. There are 5 stages to this. They don't arrive in order. They don't announce themselves. And more than one can be running at the same time. It starts small. A text comes in. Period at the end instead of an exclamation mark. That's it. That's all. But your brain doesn't file it under, they're probably tired. It opens a case, builds a timeline, pulls every conversation from the last 2 weeks into evidence. Did I say something wrong? Are we okay? Was it that thing on Tuesday or this one? They read your message. No reply. Chest tightens. Shoulders lock. You open the thread again. Nothing changed, but your thumb keeps hovering over the screen, so you check anyway. This is not intuition. This is a false alarm. Your body doesn't measure events. It measures threat. And somewhere along the way, it stopped being able to tell the difference between danger and a slow reply. Every small signal gets processed as urgent. Every pause gets decoded. Every shift in tone gets run through the machine. You're not overreacting. You're running software that was installed before you were old enough to choose it. If your body recognized this, you already know. Just notice. And you learn to hide it because you were ashamed of how fast it hit you. But here's the thing. You didn't learn that on your own. You cried. They called it dramatic. You needed comfort. They gave you silence. You spoke. They said you were too much. So you adapted. Fast. You wore a smile before anyone could ask. Said, I'm fine, before the question even formed. Laughed at the right moment so no one would look closer. You played the fine version of yourself for so long, you forgot who you were when you weren't performing. Now you sit across from someone who loves you. They ask, what's wrong? And your chest tightens. Not because you don't know, but because you've been answering nothing for so long, your mouth moves before your brain catches up. You didn't hide to protect other people. You hid because you were ashamed of your own sensitivity. Because somewhere along the way, you got the message that needing things was the same as being too much. But feelings don't disappear. They just find another way out. And you learn to hide it because you were ashamed of how fast it hit you. But here's the thing. You didn't learn that on your own. You cried. They called it dramatic. You needed comfort. They gave you silence. You spoke. They said you were too much. So you adapted. Fast. You wore a smile before anyone could ask. Said, I'm fine, before the question even formed. Laughed at the right moment so no one would look closer. You played the fine version of yourself for so long, you forgot who you were when you weren't performing. Now you sit across from someone who loves you. They ask, what's wrong? And your chest tightens. Not because you don't know, but because you've been answering nothing for so long, your mouth moves before your brain catches up. You didn't hide to protect other people. You hid because you were ashamed of your own sensitivity. Because somewhere along the way, you got the message that needing things was the same as being too much. But feelings don't disappear. They just find another way out. And then the system does the only thing it has left. It shuts down. Not dramatically, not all at once. You don't collapse, you don't disappear. You just stop arriving. You're at the party, you're smiling. Someone's telling a story, and you laugh at the right moment. But the sound is underwater again. Faces move. Words reach you. You are not there. Later that night, you're on the couch, phone in hand. You've been scrolling for 2 hours. Your eyes are burning, but you can't turn the screen off. You're hungry, but standing up to get food feels like climbing a wall, so you don't. And the cruel part is, you're still thinking the whole time. You're not resting. You're stuck. Your mind keeps whispering, get up, answer the message, take a shower. And your body doesn't move. So you start bargaining with yourself. 5 more minutes. Then another 20. Then it's midnight and you hate yourself for wasting the day. Even though you didn't waste it, you survived it. This is not laziness, this is functional freeze. Your nervous system hit its limit and pulled the emergency brake. Toes cold, breath shallow, you're still running. Just underground now. Numb is not peace, it's survival. And the worst part, you start to notice the nothing, and the nothing starts to scare you. And that's when the shame moves in. Not loud, quiet. The kind that sits in your chest and takes inventory. You couldn't cry at the thing you should have cried at. You felt nothing when they said, "I love you." You sat at dinner with people who matter to you and felt absent. And your brain files all of this under one word: broken. So it does what it always does. It suppresses, it manages, it performs fine one more time, until it can't. Because shame is not a feeling you can outrun. It accumulates. And one night, not a dramatic night, maybe a stranger asked if you were okay. Maybe it was a cartoon, a song, nothing. But your brain had been spending every last resource just to keep the shame contained. And the moment it ran out, the dam broke. Heart racing, can't breathe, hands shaking. This is not a release, this is a panic attack. And when it's over, the signal is too loud again. Every text, every pause, every shift in tone, back to stage one. The loop doesn't start with feeling, it starts with shame. So, what do you actually do with this? You can't think your way out of a nervous system in survival mode. You have to move through the body first. 3 things, right now, in order. First, ground yourself physically. Feel the weight of your heels on the floor. Look around. Name 5 things you can see. Not to calm down, just to tell your brain this room is safe. Second, breathe out longer than you breathe in. 4 counts in, 6 counts out. 5 times. That's it. No apps, no guided audio. Just the exhale being longer than the inhale. That single shift signals your nervous system to pull the plug on the alarm. Third, 1 word only. Not a story, not an explanation, just scared, heavy, tight. Give it a location in your body, not a narrative in your head. Give it a location, not a story. Don't solve your life, just downshift your body. You're not broken, your nervous system is full. There's a difference. You walk out to the hallway. The party is still going behind the door. Music, laughter, the same sounds as before. But out here, there's a draft from somewhere, cold against your neck, and you feel it. Just that. Just the cold. You don't need to feel less. You just need to learn how to carry it. If your mind never goes quiet, you deserve tools, not shame. If this found you at the right moment, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe, so the next one finds you too.